So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the only person who misses Justin Trudeau more than Susan Delacourt, the Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre.
Hello, everyone. Yes. Yes, hello. Hello. Yes, hello, everybody. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes. Very nice, very nice. Good evening, gentlemen and biological clocks. I am Conservative leader and star of This Hour Has 22 Minutes, Pierre Poilievre. I'm sorry I'm late. I just came in from my riding in Bubble River. Sorry, I wrote that down weird. Baby butter crop top. It doesn't matter. I know it. I know it. I know it. Okay? I'm not really sure where I will be sitting yet. It doesn't matter. I'll just take that guy's chair. It'll be fine. I'll just take a chair. Okay, so I've written down a few things that I would like to say. Oops, sorry. That's the ballot from my last election. Yeah. I'm on here somewhere. I don't know. This makes it really hard to vote. Wow. Well, I gotta say, yes, yes, yes. So, you guys remember when I lost for a minute and didn't have a job in politics? I felt like I was 15 again. Yeah, I didn't know what to do as a regular man, right? I didn't know I was allowed to date an astronaut. My new campaign manager, Steve Outhouse, don't laugh, it's a regular name, everybody has it, it's very common. It's very, very common. He says that I have to be more likable. So he sent me out here, he said, can you convince everybody that you're likable in 90 seconds? And I said to him, I can say all the likable things about me in way less than 90 seconds. Right. And if not, we'll just hire an actor to be likable for me. Yeah, we found me on the CBC. That's right, I know, right? CBC. I don't know who the cuckold is here more, me or me. I love the CBC, by the way. I think it should be funded more, to be quite honest. You can quote me on that. Write that down. Guys, write that down. I'm going to fund the CBC even more. Quote that. All right, sorry, reporters. I know that I haven't been the nicest to you. I'm very sorry. I love reporters. Just, you know, don't talk to me before I've had my morning coffee. I like tea, by the way. Any NDP here? Any NDP? Oh yeah, whose +1 were you? Boom, roasted. Yeah. Don't worry, I will be roasting all relevant parties. The Green Party. Moving on. You know, I'd make fun of the Bloc, but honestly, I never know what they're even saying. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm late. I don't know. Is Mark Carney here? Oh. Who cares? Yeah. You know, it must have been annoying eating dinner next to the elbows up guy, right? Just up like that. I'm gonna put him down. It's rude, okay? He's doing my ideas as well. Pipelines and firing everybody is what I would do. Yeah, this proves it wasn't my policies you didn't like, it really was me. Yeah, it really was. So this is the new me, okay? Take me in. I'm likable now. Yeah? Does anyone want to yell, lead us, Big Daddy? Anyone want to yell it out, please? Please yell it out. All right, well, before I leave, in honor of me and the Conservatives, I will reveal our new slogan. Long live the CBC, long live the CBC, long live the CBC, long live the CBC. That's right, long live the CBC. Long live the CBC, everybody. Long live the CBC.
Une grande tournée d'applaudissements pour la version Timu de moi. A big round of applause for the Timu version of me, everybody. As you know, Chris stars on This Hour Has 22 Minutes, which is the second funniest satire on CBC after Power in Politics. You know, Chris is actually the most expensive comedian at the CBC, and in fact the most expensive in the entire world if you measure on a cost per laugh basis. Now, just to be clear, to all the CBC staff who are gathered here today, don't believe what you hear. And by the way, when I speak of CBC staff, I'm not just talking about the PMO comm shop, I'm talking about all of you. I never said I was going to shut down the CBC. I said I was going to defund it, which means that we can find some creative funding methods to keep it going. Like maybe they could move their head office to a Caribbean tax haven so that Brookfield could pay for it. The company might have some spare office space above that bicycle shop in Bermuda. Or another revenue source would be for David Cochrane to start charging for the water he carries for the Liberal Party. The third way is for me to donate royalties. And I'm announcing that I will do that today. Royalties for all those who copy me, imitate me, or steal my ideas. I think Mark Carney is here today. He wanted to have an impersonator of his own, but then he discovered that Mr. Burns is a cartoon. But who's ready to tax the tax? Build the homes. Oh, wait a sec here. They gave me my speech for the January Conservative Convention. Geez, there's got to be some content in here I can use. Down with the out-of-touch elites. Oh, wrong crowd. I know. No more greasy lobbyists. Oh, that's not going to work either. Fire the overpaid consultants. Oh, I see Regan Watts is here tonight, so that's not going to work. All right. I guess we're going to have to settle for some more boring three-word verb-to-noun slogans like eat the food, drink the booze, fake the laughs. But it wasn't just the slogans that people criticized about my last campaign. Look, and fair enough, we made some great gains. We added 25 seats, 2.5 million votes, but we need to get over the top, and that means making some adjustments, some changes, and that means I have to look inward into what changes I have to make. And I've been told since the election that I need to gain those extra few percentage points by being more lovable and human. So naturally, I've commissioned a poll on how to do that, and the preliminary results are in. Option A, I can get a dog, or option B, and I'm quoting the pollster here, I can find more meaningful ways to connect with people on a personal level and make emotional connections with Canadians. So I immediately called the pollster and said, what kind of dog? Now, clearly, we Conservatives do need to be a lot more pleasant. And I hear these reports about people kicking in doors, calling each other snakes, yelling, and I thought, who leaked this morning's staff meeting? But come on, none of you really believed Chris D'Entremont's story about being threatened and intimidated by my whip and my House Leader. Have any of you actually seen my whip and my House Leader? Andrew Scheer has not intimidated anyone in the history of man. And Chris Workington, well, he is so skinny, he's like the poster child for long-term Ozempic abuse. But the whole thing has us all thinking about caucus management. I think that Stephen Guilbeault would actually agree that this is very important. I hear that the NDP actually rejected having Guilbeault join their caucus. What an ego blow. Come on, Don. Is Don Davies here tonight? Don, come on, man. Beggars can't be choosers. And surely Stephen Guilbeault's brand of crazy would fit in right between the delegation of furries and the Queers for Palestine. I see that Elizabeth, Elizabeth May's here, and that's great, but I have to say I get a little nervous around Elizabeth because she's a hugger, and of course, I'm allergic to feelings. So we'll go back to the NDP. The NDP does have a table tonight, not a full table. They don't have official table status. But we can't forget about the NDP the way Canadians did in the last election. And isn't it great to have the Prime Minister here tonight? Right here in Canada, of all places. So he's been dodging me in question period, but Prime Minister, I don't take it personally, so let's put those differences aside and let's give him a big Grey Cup welcome tonight, everybody. Well, that was a little bit more kind and gentle than in Winnipeg, where he got more booze than Elizabeth Bay's liquor cabinet. An economist, Mr. May is, Mr. Carney, of course, is an economist, and economists deal with incentives, and I understand he promised that the media outlet that gave him the biggest applause would get the biggest bailout tonight. But he is right about one thing. Canada does face an existential crisis and threats against our sovereignty from a foreign leader. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a very tough guy who's staring us down and facing us with a number of very big threats, so all of us have to come together and get on message. But the trouble, Prime Minister, is I'm having a difficulty finding out what the latest slogan is, and you know how much I love slogans. And we're all wondering how you went from elbows up to who cares? And we're told that the answer is that the big change happened when the President threatened you that if you didn't back down, then he would grab you by the pipeline. It certainly has been a busy time for the Prime Minister in international travel, checking on his investments, trade negotiations. If he's not been fighting for mom and pop shops like Brookfield, trying to get into Gulf states, we haven't seen such an altruistic champion of Canada's economy abroad since the Chinese lent us Dominic Barton. But the Prime Minister can't do this work all on his own. Dominic LeBlanc can't do it all for him either. I think Dominic now has more portfolios than any minister in Canadian history. I think he's just added heritage to it. Prime Minister, give Dominic a break. Please let him focus on the thing that is most passionate in his life, like giving contracts to his closest family members. Now, parlons maintenant de la nation québécoise. Et bon, je sais que les journalistes québécois sont encore fâchés parce que j'ai refusé de les embarquer dans mon avion de campagne. Mais la prochaine fois, les journalistes du Devoir vont inviter, ça va m'aider à dormir dans l'avion de campagne. Oui, il y a une nouvelle étude, il y a le Devoir ici, il y a une nouvelle étude de Harvard qui montre que le meilleur remède pour l'insomnie, c'est l'éditorial de Mme Marie Vassal de 3000 mots. Mais Rad Khan, est-ce qu'on va inviter Rad Khan sur l'avion aussi? J'espère qu'on va permettre Rad Khan. Est-ce que Rad Khan est ici? Rad Khan, je sais pas, je vais inviter Rad Khan d'aller sur l'avion. Christiane Noël va parler avec ses deux sources conservatrices recyclées et anonymes à l'arrière de l'avion. En même temps, mais si vous êtes là, mes amis de Radcan, peut-être vous allez voir que je suis capable de bouger, même plus rapidement qu'un député libéral dès qu'on lui parle de fling-flang. Mais blague à part, les choses vont mieux pour moi au Québec. Ben oui, même Pablo Rodriguez voudrait avoir ma popularité. Mais je sais que vous autres l'aimez. C'est un gars qui est très sympathique. Il a une belle coupe de cheveux et il cuisine bien. En passant, on me dit qu'il cuisine des très bons brownies. Now, before I take my seat and grimace my way through the rest of the evening, let me say I can't wait to be Prime Minister so that I never have to come back to this God-forsaken event. As you know, I've banned all of my MPs from coming to this event. So as soon as I find out that I was here, I will be kicking myself out of caucus. But in the meantime, on behalf of Doug Ford, let me propose a toast to the Parliamentary Press Gallery. Without you, anonymous sources would have to get a real job. So everybody, please raise a glass to the Parliamentary Press Gallery. How's that for a change in tone? Thank you very much, everybody.